This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Hi, everybody.
G'day, Nat. How are you?
Thanks for asking, Sean. I'm terrific. On the show today, we catch up with Eddie Maguire because, of course, footy is just around the corner.
It's a good chat, actually.
Yes.
Tom Hawkins joins us as well. Of course, we ask him about his hair and how manicured it is.
What's the art to getting a pay rise? You're going to hear some interesting strategies that have been effective, actually.
Yeah, and if you signed up for something thinking, this is a good idea, but then probably overcommitted, Nat's got a story for you.
As an example, during the show today, we did 90 squats. 90. And I still have heaps to go.
It's Nathan, Nat and Sean on Nova 937.
It's 6:04. Nathan Nat and Sean. Nathan's still off, but Sean McManus is here. Look at him.
I'm here, Natalie, and it feels like a Monday, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know it's a long weekend. You were just, your question was to yourself just then, hopefully I can still talk.
Yeah, well, I kind of had a little itchy throat and so I'll probably take the rest of the week off. But and I'm like, can I talk? Can I talk? This happens to me at home sometimes because I don't live with anyone because I live on my own. Sometimes you can go a fair way into the morning without having said anything. And then you suddenly start talking, I'm a bit squeaky today, when you finally talk to the cat or the dog or something.
That's funny, actually.
I know,
yeah.
I know.
I remember when I was stuck in Bali, right? And every morning I got up.
Yes.
It was Sparrow's Fart, and I had no one to talk to, obviously.
Yes.
So I was sitting outside on this grassed area, just talking to myself to try to get going before we started the show.
Get the voice yapping.
Yeah, that's weird,
It
isn't it?
doesn't just come to us, people. Sometimes we have to work at it.
Can I say on the vice versa of not talking in the morning because there's no one around, when we get home, you've got the luxury of not talking to anyone because you've done all your talking, right?
Yeah, I know.
And then I get a barrage of conversation from my wife generally, and I'm just like, I don't want to say a word.
And the problem is, Sean, she listens to you on the radio and listen to that fun chatty chap.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get home and she's like, where is he?
You're so boring. I hear that so often. You're so boring.
I'm glad that we get the best of you, Sean. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for that.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
It's getting physical in here, Sean.
It certainly is, Nat, and it's led by you for some reason. Now, tell us the reason why. We just did some squats.
So we did a tiny amount of squats compared to what I have to do for the day. So I signed up for the 58 squats a day challenge, which raises money for the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
Awesome.
But when you fill in the form to do it, it does say, is there anybody that you're doing this in memory of? And I've had 3 friends pass from breast cancer. And so then they say, do you want to double or triple the amount of squats? And I'm like, well, 3 friends, I'm doing it in their memory. Let's triple it. Triple 58 is 174 squats a day for the entire month of March, which is a 31-day month, in case you're wondering. So this is day 4.
Yeah.
My knees, I'm not loving it, I'll be honest. There's a fair bit of, what are we? Not even 18 months since I had that knee injury that stopped me from going hiking in New Zealand on my holidays, which was a kneecap issue. And squats do put a bit of pressure on your kneecaps.
Oh, you're going to have some tracking pain for sure.
It feels like when you stand on a bowl of cornflakes. That's the feeling I get in my knees when I do them. But it's what you do. It's raising money, so if you want to donate, the link in bio, Sean.
I need to.
I put it there myself. I didn't have to get one of your children to do it for me. So we've already done as a team 30 this morning. I did 10 before work, so I've knocked off 40. I've still got 134 squats to go for the day.
You are going to be in all sorts in a couple of weeks' time. And there's going to be the pros and cons, right? So the cons are the fact that you're going to be sore in your knees. There's no doubt about it.
I know. But what about my buttocks,
Oh,
Sean?
my
They
God.
are going to be, you'll be able to
Baby got back.
bounce a ping pong ball off them.
I'll crack walnuts on your ass.
Exactly. So I'll keep you updated on that as the month goes on.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Everybody's been asking me what I did on the weekend, and I did nothing except yesterday during the Oscars. I did all of my ironing. Luckily, the Oscars went forever, so I had plenty of opportunity to do my ironing. So just stood there in the lounge room ironing away. So I saw everything.
Okay.
Favourite dress was not a red carpet dress. It was the one that Ariana Grande wore when she performed at the beginning of the night, where the red dress when she and Cynthia did their little medley of tunes. Beautiful dress. That was gorgeous. Should have won that.
Well, they only won a couple of awards for Wicked.
I know.
But the big winner was Honora. And when I see a movie like this win all the awards, I go, that's a movie that I will not see.
Is it on principle? Because you know that it's obviously...
It's clearly crap. No, honestly, from a commercial point of view, which I'm a commercial watcher, you know, I'm one who's going to watch the proper good movies.
The proper good movies like what?
Transformers.
Okay. That just gives you a bit of an idea. But luckily we've got a cinephile.
Anything Marvel.
Yes, allegedly.
Sam, a digital content creator, talk to us about Honora, because you said...
Oh, my
I said
God.
no one's going to see
No
this.
one's going to see it.
It's a $6 million movie, so made on the smell of an oily rag, which is incredible.
It was so good. No special effects, no big budget, just like great characters, great story, really fun to watch. I rate my movies every time I watch them on this app called Letterboxd. Get on it if you're not using it.
Okay.
And it was my top rated film last year.
Stop it.
No joke.
So Mikey Madison won the Oscar, the Best Actress Oscar. Talk to us about how great she is.
Well, she's incredible. She's had a couple good run of movies. I can't name them right now off the top of my head, but she is quite young as well. I think she's only like 23.
Yeah.
And to be up against Demi Moore in that category, actually pretty incredible. So the other movie that was my highest rated was The Substance. Which was also up for Best Picture, and Demi Moore for Best Actor. And it was... I actually thought that she might have got it just because of her age and the movie, the message behind it. It kind of seemed like it was going to be going towards Demi, but for Mikey Madison to get it is pretty incredible.
A lot of the articles being written today are having someone read Demi Moore's lips after she never got the award, and her comment was nice, and it was more so like, nice.
Yeah.
Now,
or was she just being complimentary?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously people love a negative story.
Yeah,
It's
only
kind
gonna
of
be a
interesting
negative
though, because like the whole story about The Substance was her getting replaced by a younger, hotter version of herself. So it was kind of like art imitating life a little bit.
To be fair, Mikey Madison does have Demi Moore, young Demi Moore vibe.
Yes,
she's 25, Mikey Madison, so that's an incredible effort. Better Things is probably what she's best known for, which TV show. Yeah. Amazing. And like as she said, like she grew up in LA, but that whole movie world seemed a mile away from what her reality was, and so. That is pretty amazing to them.
And it's also a very raunchy role. It's a very horny movie.
Yeah, she's playing a sex worker, right? Yeah. So you would
maybe I'll have to come around. Do you reckon I'll do another run now that they've won all the Oscars?
Sean just got a little bit more interested. I did notice the other thing that a few people made comments like this was talking about how they want the studios to make movies for the big screen again, and that which seemed to be a bit of a niggle and a stab at your movies that are made for Netflix and Stan and the rest, The Substance being one of them, that they're saying don't disregard the cinema. Everybody needs to get back to the experience of going to the movies.
I got no doubt about that, but
like
do they want to put the money out there? Because the big cinema's the one who's got to front all the funds for it.
That's right.
And they're only willing to do that in a prequel or a sequel these days.
That's true.
Because they know the first one works, so we're going to get a guaranteed audience.
Yeah. All right. Well, we love the Oscars, right?
Honora.
Give
it a go.
Get onto it. I think it's still showing at Luna.
Okay, so if
Luna, local cinema.
Can I just say, like, if I'm going to watch a movie at Luna, it sounds to me like it's going to be deep.
Oh, that's what you're afraid of, isn't it? It's just,
don't want to think, hey.
but also, Sean, sex workers,
Okay.
remember?
A
He's
bit
back
of
on board. He's so torn.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
The knees are getting creaky. So we were talking about just a little bit before. I have signed up to do what I signed up for was the 58 squats a day challenge, which is to raise money for the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
Awesome.
Amazing organisation. I'm doing it in memory of 3 of my friends who've passed away due to breast cancer, which is an extraordinary number. Like, really? That's crazy,
it is.
isn't it?
It is, Nat.
Yeah.
I want to be friends with you.
I know. That's right, for your own good. So when I signed up, it did say, did you want to do 58 squats a day or did you want to double it or triple it? And I thought, because I'm doing it in memory of 3 friends, why don't I just triple it? Forgetting that I have knees that are creaky and groany and like kneecap issues that stop me from doing a hiking holiday just like not this Christmas just gone, but the Christmas before. So it's not that long ago. And that was a long rehab. Like I was doing water walking for what seemed like months months. Me and all
that's
the old
right,
ladies
you
down at
were,
prenatal.
Fran Poole.
They all had new knees, and I'm like, I'm still going on my old one. And so squats aren't the best activity for that. And
No.
so I'm doing 174 squats a day.
Okay, we have just collectively as a team this morning tried to help you out by jumping in. How many have you done?
We've done 60,
60. Okay.
which is good. That's a good solid start.
174.
So there's 3 times 58.
That's going to wear really thin on me by this afternoon if we're going to do this together for one day. You're doing for 31.
31 days, I know. And I have done, so far I have done every single one of them. And like I did switch yesterday, I switched to doing some sumo squats, slightly different angle, exercise different. It's still a squat, but it exercises like more, less your glute and more your inner thigh. But that also, then I went back to the regular ones because that was mean on my knees too. But,
We know that there are the benefits because you're going to have an ass like a cat.
Like you. You're going to have an ass like you, Sean.
don't want
Renowned Big Butt McManus. That's what I'm baby got back. That's what I'm headed for.
Oh, but I don't know how you're going to go, surely.
Weight, my butt did disappear, so I'm hoping this will make it come back again.
Oh, it will. It will. But you're going to be that sore. You're going to be seeing a physio left, right and centre.
I know.
Your chiro's going to have to do work on your back.
Yes, all of it. All of it. Just I've got a month to get through but it's for a great cause. So then you go, but you do sign up for these things sometimes just on a bit of a whim, sometimes after a glass of wine and think this is a great idea. And then the reality is you've got to do it. And it's like, oh, like I've done October before, which is, like dry January, all the rest of it. So not drinking for a whole month. And that, it was easy for me. Like it wasn't that much of a challenge, but it was the dullest month of my life. I'll be honest. And that's a terrible thing to say. Yeah, no. Like one of my friends did say to me, "Oh, you're really boring when you don't drink." And then,
get that all the time.
Since then, he has actually stopped drinking altogether. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, "Yeah, no, I get it." I'm like, I know I'm not as interesting as I used to be. But he makes up for it by driving us home.
The signing up thing and making that mistake. I know I've talked about the swimming till my noses bleed, right?
No. This is a great example of it.
I walked into Claremont Pool, and I remember the day. It was like a Wednesday. I walked in, and I walked past Kynwyn Roberts, who's owns the Port to Pub.
Yeah.
And Kynwyn's the most renowned.
Kynwyn is a sort of woman, and she's done
swimmer
this
of
where
all
she
time.
swims to Rottnest, does a tumble turn and swims back again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she swum over and then around as well.
She swam around. Yep, she swam around, and I walked past her and just said g'day. We had a quick conversation, and then she was about to walk off, and I said, Kynwyn, I wouldn't mind having a chat to you about doing a Rotto solo.
Yeah, right.
That's what I said, and she just went, oh, that's fantastic.
Sign here.
By the time I'd walked from, I don't know, say the 25-metre mark of the pool to the to the top of it, the 50-metre line, to put my bag down, I was in a WhatsApp group of Rotto 2024 soloists. Welcome, Sean, to the group. I literally walked 25 metres and I was already part of a WhatsApp group of 70 people who were doing Rotto solos. Oh, my God. That was a nightmare.
And you are a bit like me in that if you make that commitment, there's no going back, is there? There's no, and I know everyone's like, oh, no one's going to know if you don't do the squats. It's like, no, but I'll know. I'll know.
Yeah.
And so I've done every single one of them so far, and I will continue to do every single one of them. And if my knees give out, I'll find another way, but I'll do something. There's no way I'm not doing it.
Well, sometimes you sign up to these things and they're a bad idea. Now, we want to hear from people who've had a go. They've signed up and they've gone, oh, my God. Maybe they got bullied into it somehow.
Yes, maybe your body gave out halfway through. Love to hear from you if that's the case.
Yeah. We want to hear those stories. I want to hear those stories.
Maybe you signed up for Dry July and then you made it to the first weekend and went, oh, but I really want a glass of rosé.
But maybe you come out the other side. It's all about growth,
Oh, how positive.
Thank you.
And we want to know what you've signed up for and was it a great decision? Rachel's in Erskine. Hello.
Hello.
All right,
Hi,
Rach. We know you're a great person, Rach. What did you sign up for?
So me and a group of my friends decided it would be a really good idea to sign up for the Bloody Long Walk, which is like a 32-kilometre walk.
Yes.
From that starts in South Perth and ends in Cottesloe to raise money for mitochondria.
Oh, that's
amazing.
a great cause.
Okay,
That is a bloody long walk, hence the name, Rach.
It really was, and stupidly I was like, yeah, 100%, I've got this. We absolutely do not need to train. The rest of them did some training. Me, I was turned up on the day with a pair of trainers and my socks and was like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah, it's walking.
It was brutal.
How hard can it be?
Okay, talk us through. When did it really kick in that you realised it was a bad idea?
I think we got to about the 10-12K mark and we're like, oh, my God, we are not even close to halfway. By about the 17-18K walk, we were like, what on earth? Like, we were hating on each other, like, whose stupid idea was this? Like, God, but then we all crossed the finish line. I think we did it in 8-ish hours or so, but it was...
That is a bloody long walk.
Oh, my God. It was, like, brutally hot, too. I think it was, like, 36 degrees that day or something ridiculous.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
We did it. We will never do it again.
Yeah.
Or actually, we might. Who knows? We say we won't.
That's the thing, isn't it?
We always say no.
On that euphoria of actually finishing it, that's when you make bad decisions about whether you should do it again. And you're like, oh, no, it wasn't so bad. No, it was. It was. Remember what it was like at the 12K mark. That's what you need to tap into.
The blisters.
Yes.
The blisters were something else. Like, I am an assertive outreach worker, so I have to wear enclosed shoes to work, but I was out of action for about 10 days because the blisters, I actually couldn't put
What
shoes
about toenails?
There
Did
we
you get
go.
black toenails as well?
No, surprisingly,
Yeah.
they were okay, but the blisters definitely took over my feet for sure.
Oh.
But it was,
Brutal.
well worth it. But, we'll sign up for something else. We might stick to the high seas for a while, though. Yeah.
Did cost her 10 days, though, afterwards in recovery.
Yeah, but you got to factor that in, don't you? Thank you, Rachel. Jaden's in Mandurah. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, Jaden.
Good, Jaden. What did you sign up for?
Signed up for, so my old boxing coach was doing the 100 sit-ups every day for a month for the cancer, and I decided that I'd join in with her, and I hit about the halfway mark, and I decided and started contemplating what have I gotten myself into. I did manage to get through it, but she was doing a different style of sit-ups every day.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I tell you what, my abs were killing me.
Yeah.
I bet they are. You know, from the ab point of view, because everyone goes, oh, abs, because everyone wants to have abs of steel and all the rest of it. That make me look good. So 100, you go, oh, I can do that. I can do that. No problem at all. Did anything work against you when you were doing it? Did you get sore in your groins? Did you?
Yeah, so it was more, I think after the first 10 days, your core is just that sore. It's just, you just got to fight through it, I guess. There was definitely times I didn't want to, but I thought, as you said, you got to hold yourself accountable, so you end up doing it.
Yeah, we're committed people, you and me, Jaden, just quietly.
Yes.
To our detriment.
You can't say you're going to do it and not do it.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Thanks, Jaden. Clive's in Alexander Heights. Morning, Clive.
Morning. How you doing?
All right,
Wonderful, Clive.
What did you sign up for?
Well, I was probably going back nearly 30 years to do the full Monty.
Okay.
Well, everybody, if you missed this...
Talk us through it. What happened?
Well, cut a long story short, I was working in the Cook Islands, and the restaurant was turning 10 years old, so they decided to throw a party where they invited about 300 people.
Yes.
And even the Prime Minister was there, because there's only 10,000 on the island.
Yeah.
You know, and people used to... It was quite a nice restaurant. And anyway, we had a group of us. There was like 3 island lads that were all buff and, could play probably from, for the All Blacks if they qualified. And there was a bloke who did the... Lotto shop, and he was like a relic from the 1970s. He'd worn, long walk socks and sandals, but he's originally from the UK with sideburns, and he was there. And then there was a Dutch fella that was quite thin and scrawny, and he delivered the water around the island. So, and then there was me, and I was all right, but it was like 30 years ago, and so there was a woman who choreographed us a bit. She was an aerobics teacher. She'd come up from New Zealand for a few weeks.
Yeah.
So she did their choreography. We got some Cook Island moves in, which obviously the Cook Island boys were good at, but we looked stupid doing it. And then the songs, you had the hot chocolate and the Joe Cocker one.
Yes.
I got some hibiscus shorts made red hibiscus shorts where you could rip them off.
Yeah.
And then I got willy warmers sent over from a lady I knew in Sydney, and there was a giraffe, a rabbit, an elephant, and all this sort of stuff. And it was brilliant. But before we went out, I could have easily walked out, but we had a few shots of whiskey, and anyway, it was one of the best things I'd done. I thought it was you can just imagine being on stage, you know, being an actor or actress and the whole crowd going mental. It was brilliant.
Well, I know it sounds all, you know, going back to the movie itself, the full Monty is that you go the full Monty at the end. So how did you go with that, Clive? Because that's the last
No, he had
part
his
of the
willy
show.
warmers on.
Well, there was guys on his suit because it was, you know, it was only in a restaurant, so you had people sitting like kneeling down at the front. They got pulled off.
Oh, so you did go the full Monty.
I mean, the willy warmers got pulled off.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that.
Sorry.
Hey, it's never too early.
Oh, Jesus.
So the crowd really loved it. Clive, thank you for that visual image that we can hold dear to our hearts. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Great, everybody. Well done. Commitment.
Yeah, that is commitment.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast. Who the AFL is that?
What a superstar he is.
All right. This is what we're going to do. Footy's back with a bang. We're about to give away $250 cash and a 12-month KO subscription.
Now, we did say we've got an ex-AFL player on the line ready to answer your questions. They need to be yes or no so we can work our way through. Yes, of course, you get to answer another question. No, we'll catch you later.
Well, first of all, let's say hello to our ex-AFL player. Hello.
Hello, Nat.
Hello, ex-AFL player.
Hi, Sean.
I think that's given it away. Okay, let's go to our first caller. Joshua, hello.
Hey, how you going, guys?
Okay,
Hey, Josh.
We're trying to figure out who we've got on the line. It is an ex-AFL player. What question requiring a yes or no answer would you like to ask him?
Is he a WA-based player? No.
No. Goodbye, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Well,
Kim's in Ellenbrook. Morning, Kim.
Hi.
We know it's
Okay,
not a
it's not a
WA-based player. What's your question?
Did you used to play for a Sydney team?
yes.
Okay.
You get to ask another
Good question.
Kim.
Okay, it was the Sydney team, red and white.
Yes.
All right. Kim, you're on a roll.
Kim's gone now. She didn't expect that to happen.
Another question now.
Keep going.
Were you a premiership player at some point?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, you're out, Kim.
Thanks, Kim. All right, Dylan's in Caversham. Morning, Dylan.
Morning, how are you?
Okay,
Aye, good
great,
deal.
Dylan. What is your question for our ex-AFL player?
Were you a midfielder? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Was a
Well done,
midfield.
Dill.
Okay, Dylan, ask another.
Did you graduate? Did you retire in 2021? No.
No.
Did not retire in 2021.
No, thanks, Dill. All right, Carolyn, hello.
Hi, how you going?
Good,
Great,
Carolyn.
Okay. What do you want to ask?
I actually don't know. I'm just going to have a guess.
Okay.
So it's Sydney Swans player. Are you a Sydney Swans player?
No, were.
Yeah, it's because he's retired.
Yeah,
yes.
were you a Sydney Swans player?
Yes.
Yes, we've
But I think we
established
can say,
that.
Shall we say, we'll give a little clue. Not only a Sydney Swans player.
Well said, Nat. First clue of the day.
So ask your question.
Is your name Tony?
No, definitely not.
No.
I wish it was.
I wish it
Because we're
was,
only going
too.
one way, weren't we?
I know, although he didn't play a lot in the midfield from what I remember. Sorry, Caroline, we move on. Odette, hello.
Hi.
All right, Odette, ask our ex-AFL player a question.
Do you have dark hair?
It's a technical question. I did. Yeah.
We say yes.
In his day.
playing day.
In his
It's playing
day,
day.
yes.
I'm just going to go for it. Are you Josh Kennedy?
No.
It is not Josh Kennedy.
No.
Josh
It's not-
Kennedy was a two-team
Yes.
player. This person is a two-team player. Or were.
It's not any of the Josh Kennedys either.
No, there's many Josh Kennedys.
Sorry, Odette. We move to Courtney. Hello, Courtney.
Hello, how you guys going?
Good
yeah,
call.
we're great, Courts. Okay, what is your question for our ex-AFL player?
I don't know, I'm just going to have a stab in the dark for a name. Is it Jude Bolton?
Terrific player.
No.
Who's not Jude Bolton?
Bolton, I'm
Okay.
afraid.
This could take a while, guys.
I know, right? If you want to have a guess or ask some questions, 13 24 10.
Another clue's coming up right now.
All right.
This person is currently based in WA. They played on the East
Interesting.
Coast. They were a two-team player. Mm-hmm. Currently based in WA.
Ian, hello.
How you going?
Good, Ian.
Me.
Sorry, Ian. What's your question for our ex-AFL player?
I'll ask, are you prominent on TV commentary? No.
It's a great question, though. That rules out a fair few people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian.
Nice.
Clint, hello.
Hello.
All right, Clint, what is your question for our ex-AFL player?
Were you a ruckman? Definitely not.
No.
Not a ruckman.
No. Midfielder?
Midfielder.
Not a ruckman. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Clint. Frank's in Como. Hello.
Hey, guys. Were you originally from WA?
No.
See you, Frank.
Sorry, Frank. Sandra, hello.
Hello.
All right, Sandra, what's your question for our ex-AFL player?
I don't have a question. Is it Adam Good?
It is.
No.
It is not Adam Goods.
Not Adam
okay,
Goods.
so Adam Goods didn't play for another team other than Sydney
So
Swans.
We know that he played at Sydney, but probably better known for playing for another team.
That
Is that-
team,
is that
for the
fair?
next guess,
Oh, you're going
the
to tell
next
him.
clue,
You just got to tell him.
wore
tell him.
blue,
Oh, okay.
red and white.
Well, that's narrowed it down. All right, Sebastian, hello.
Good morning. Sorry,
Sebastian.
blue, red, and white. I got that one. Now, midfielder. Is that right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
What do you reckon?
Oh,
Ask a question, quick.
is he currently playing?
No,
he's
he's an ex-AFL player. Bye, Sebastian. Mina, hello.
I'm just going to go for it. Is it Barry Hall?
No.
It is not Big Bad Barry Hall.
No.
No, midfielder. Jai, hello.
Hello.
Hi,
All
Jai.
right, Jai, we're trying to figure out who our ex-AFL player is. What's your question?
Jared McVeigh. I missed that, sorry.
Are you Jared McVeigh?
Oh, no.
No. Okay, so what do we know about him? He played at Sydney,
Yes.
but also at a team that wore red, blue and white. Blue, red and white.
Yes.
Okay.
He's currently based in WA.
Currently based in WA, but he's not from WA.
And since he retired, has been involved in administration.
Oh, hello. Okay, Dale, hello.
Hello, how you going?
All right, Dale, we're just trying to figure out who this mystery man is. What's your question for him?
Mr. Ann, are you Kieran Jack? No.
Didn't mind the guess.
No, not terrible.
To a degree.
Thanks, Dale. Nat's in Maylands. Morning, Nat.
Hello.
All right, Nat. What's your question?
Is it Shane Biggs?
Shane Biggs.
No.
There's a name for you.
I'm going to say he's more well-known than Shane Biggs.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Keep ringing 13 24 10.
Yes, we're going to go to another Nat.
Right, two teams, though. Right, two teams.
You're right,
Yeah, right, two teams. There you go. Okay. This Nat's in Southern River. Hi, Nat.
Well, hello. You just guessed who I guessed, so I'm going to just throw it out there. Is it, does he have a role with 7 News?
No.
Thank you.
You would see him on the news
You
regularly.
would see him on the news, but he's not. He doesn't have a role on Channel 7 News.
No. Or any of the other stations as a major play.
Do we want to say what colour shirt he wears now?
You can, Natalie.
Purple. Sharon's in Bicton. Hello, Sharon.
Hello, how you going?
Now, he's involved at the Fremantle Football Club. We know that. We know that he played in Sydney and he played for a team that wore red, blue and white. Sharon, what is your question?
I don't know about the Freo part. Shane Biggs?
No, somebody's already guessed him.
For the
Sorry.
third time.
Definitely, we can say he's not
Sorry.
Shane Biggs.
Isn't Shane Biggs getting a run on this station?
I know. Nobody's talked about Shane Biggs. We've said his name 3 times. I think that means he's going to appear. Rob's in Ballajura. Morning, Rob.
Yeah, hi, how you going?
Hey,
Good,
Rob.
buddy. Now, up for grabs, of course. We've got $250 cash in that 12-month KO subscription. Rob, what is your question for our guest?
Is it Simon Garlic? Yes.
Yes, it is Simon Garlic. Of course it is.
Thank God for that.
Fremantle CEO.
Yes.
Simon's got meetings to get to. He's thinking,
I
oh
know.
my God, I'm going to have to cancel the morning.
Hey, Rob, you've scored $250 cash, that 12-month KO subscription. It is the only place you can watch live Saturday footy every round this AFL season. It's on Fox Footy, and which is available on KO Sports. Well done.
Thank you.
Good on you, Rob.
Well
we got
earned.
Simon, Shane Biggs.
Shane Biggs. Fond memories.
Tell us about him, Carlo.
I didn't know Biggsy well, other than he was a star in the 2016 Grand Final. Thank God for Rob. I said to the producer before the show, before we came on air, that how long you got to set aside for this? 'Cause it could take a while. Retired in 2004, so just 17 years ahead of the 2021 retirement question. But no, we got there in the end, guys. Thank God.
Now, tell us, Simon, you're at the moment obviously the CEO of the Fremantle Dockers. We get to see you on news regularly, so that was one of the topic of conversations there. But Fremantle played on the weekend. How are you viewing this upcoming season?
Yeah, really excited, Shawnee. You can only judge it really on sort of the internal work that's been done. The people that we've put in certain positions, both, from an on-field and off-field perspective, and people that were brought into the organisation. And I think the continued growth that we see and what, historically has been a young list that's really developing, and we think coming into a period where we can really contend. So from that perspective, couldn't be more pleased. So, I'd love Hayden Young to be up and running and absolutely available, and Sean Darcy is a bit the same, but they're both not far away. So from an injury perspective, we're in reasonable shape, and a really good tune-up on the weekend. We played patches of footy that were really positive, encouraging, and then we had areas that we've got to work on against a really strong Melbourne team. So all in all, mate, it's been a great off-season. I think everyone's keenly anticipating start this week, and for us it's round 1 against the Cats down in Geelong, so a really positive test for us.
Now, Simon, as the CEO, do you run a bit of a bingo card on what stories the West is going to run with? And given that this week they've decided it's about Luke Jackson going back to Melbourne because he spoke to some Melbourne players who were former teammates of his, this is their evidence, after the game, and also because his girlfriend's from Melbourne. He's not going anywhere, is he? Surely.
No, certainly not. I think
just to beat up.
Sort of quashed that pretty quickly after the game, in the sense of, it's interesting that we've got a great relationship with the West. They're a partner of ours. Clearly, they're there to sell papers and increase subscribers, and there's always headlines that grab the attention and have people click on it and share it and all that type of thing, which we understand the game we're in, and it's a really important part of our business from a media landscape perspective. So as a club, certainly don't have the bingo cards, but also very well aware that there's going to be stuff that comes up from time to time, and we just control how we respond to it, which I think JL spoke really well after the game, in the sense that Luke couldn't be more engaged.
You weren't expecting that question. You weren't expecting that to be a blow-up of a story after the game, though, were you?
No, but there's regularly things that come up that are a bit from left field. So you can only control what you can control, and that's how we run our business. But then respond to queries and questions like that, and all we can judge it upon is Luke and how connected and engaged he is. He's been a Fremantle supporter all his life, and he's incredibly happy. And on the weekend, demonstrated that in all the best way he can by playing great footy. So we're pretty excited about what he's going to do this year on field, and clearly that's what he and we are focused on. Yeah,
he played a really good game. I just want to go back, Simon. You played 181 games. Started at the West at Sydney, and then went to the Western Bulldogs. Can you just give me, before we let you go, I know we're pressed for time, but the best player you played with at the Swans, the best player you played with at the Bulldogs?
The best player I played with, and I think against and ever saw, was Tony Lockett. So I was lucky enough to be up close and personal to a plugger for my 4 years at the Swannies, and we had an amazing 96 where we made the granny, and he was as close to unstoppable as I've ever seen a player on the field. He was a superstar for us on the field, clearly, and he was in a great phase of his life, and it was an absolute privilege to play with him. And then I think the clear one at the Dogs in my time, Shawnee, was Chris Grant, who just had a amazing ability, obviously as a centre-half forward for us, but could float back. Incredible skills for a guy of his size, and was just a superstar.
My good friend
at that time.
My good friend Peter Mann, who was on our board, won first and best at the Dockers. One time, the Bulldogs got a hold of us. We were playing at Princess Park, and Hornet was playing a centre-half forward, and Chris Grant was having a birthday on him. And then Jared Neesham at the time decided, we'll swap Hornet back to centre-half back.
Yes.
And then with that, the Western Bulldogs swapped Chris Grant back to centre-half forward. And then I couldn't get away from him. Clearly it was after the three Brownlows.
Yeah, amazing. Great player.
I can imagine Hornet telling that story well too. Surely.
Yeah, absolutely. Garlo, really appreciate your time. We know you're super busy, but good luck to Freo this year, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Love it. The relationship we've got. Appreciate all support. Look forward to speaking to you during the year.
See you, mate.
Garlo. Thanks, mate.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
The best day of the weekend, or the long weekend, in terms of weather was Sunday.
Yes, it was.
It was warm, not too...
Nice warm day.
Yeah, the winds were good, so I headed over to Rottnest, which I've been doing as much as possible lately, getting a couple of freebies in. And
did the clockers high-five you as you turn up? Sean, what's up?
The guy at the bakery has a smile because he knows he's going to get a couple of bucks come over the counter, Nat.
I just go to the East Freo Good Grocer because they're the same people.
Yeah, they are.
I bought Amy some hot cross buns.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Must have got my address, did you?
So you can get them yourself.
The only thing to do, not the only thing to do, when you go to Rottnest, it's rude not to go to the pub.
Oh, well, what else are you going to do?
Yeah,
What do you, hang on. What else do people do on there?
No, actually, Nat, you wouldn't believe. There's over 20 bays at Rottnest, so you can go for swims and sit in bays and have a snorkel around the place. You can ride your bikes.
I'm sorry, you've lost me. What?
Yeah.
No, but even if you do that, you always end up at the pub. It's the rule, because it's the last stop before you get on the ferry.
100%. That's exactly what we were doing. We went there as the last stop, and we were in there having a couple of beers. There was a group of guys that, when I went up to the bar, started having a chat with. They just did a skydive, which is what I did 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, of course. So you bonded over jumping to your death.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, which you are until you put your parachute. Yeah.
One of the things about when you go there and you go out the back to the Rottnest Airport, which is just like a basic shed, is that generally they say you need to be there half an hour before you take off to do the flight. But the reality
they give
is
you a briefing and stuff, and you want. It's obviously very safety conscious.
Very.
But there is a bit of waiting around because there's weather conditions to consider and all sorts of things.
100%. So you generally wait about an hour. So this guy was telling us how he was waiting out the back, and one thing that he always wanted to have a chat to is he was there with his boss and work friends.
Doing the jump.
Doing the jump.
Yeah, okay.
One thing that he wanted to tackle was getting a pay rise.
He thought that whilst waiting to go skydiving was the right time to ask for a pay rise.
Well, he'd been wondering when the right time was, and he'd been wanting to do this, Do you walk into your boss's office? Where do you do it?
Do you do it during work hours, or do you do it on a long weekend in Rottnest while you're about to jump out of a plane?
Yeah, so he was sitting there for a while, and he started the conversation, he was telling me, by buttering his boss up by talking about the fact that they'd had a newborn, him and his missus, and that the cost of everything, expensive, blah, blah, blah. And he kept talking, and he got his boss to, think back to when he had kids, and he just drew him in.
Yes, it became an emotional conversation because of that, yes.
Then he asked, he thought it was the right time to ask for a pay rise, given that they were about to jump out of a plane together, and if you don't want the bad karma of refusing a pay rise just before you jump out of a plane. 100%.
That was his tactic going in.
His tactic.
Is that the boss would want good juju, and so therefore, having just given an employee who's got a new baby a pay rise, he would be saved, and his parachute would definitely open.
100%.
That was the theory.
And when you think of that,
did it work?
It worked.
He got the pay rise.
He got a pay rise. He lured his boss in with that one. But the fact that, what are you going to say under those circumstances? He didn't know if that was going to be the right time, by the way, but it came to him in that you're waiting for so long, you start thinking about all those negative things. What happens if this is it? This could be it.
Yes. But also, like, you're asking for a pay rise, and then if they say no, then you're just sitting next to them for like standing there waiting, and then you're sitting in the plane while it goes up to the right height.
Yep.
That's just awkward if he said no. Like, it is a gamble, because if he said, oh, mate, we just don't have the money at the moment, then you're like, okay. And then you're stuck with them.
Yeah, but you
can't walk out of the office and leave.
No, but it's going to be on your boss's mind just as much. If he's going up and you're doing circles around Righto, which is what happens, and you go higher and higher, and he's sitting there going, I'm about to jump out of this plane, I'm never granted now to pay rise. This could bite me in the ass real hard. You would be yelling out straight away, pay rise before you jump out.
All right, you
I got you. I don't care if we got no money. It's happening.
So his salary's doubled now, that guy, has it?
I just thought that was absolutely ingenious.
It's a bit, I would say that's an uncommon situation. Most people ask for a pay rise during work hours, for starters.
Yeah, they do.
And usually in the office. But you never know.
You got to get them at the right time.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought in the last couple of years, if you're going for a pay rise, generally it's no. The company can't afford it.
Yeah, that's, cost of living, everything, business is down, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it all before.
Yeah.
But,
And heard it recently.
We want to know about pay rises. What was the perfect time to ask for one? Have you tried a sort of slightly unconventional approach to asking for a pay rise? Did you do it in a performative dance, for example?
See, that's a really good idea. A really good idea. Maybe you ask for one, you got them at the wrong time, because that can happen too. They're in a bad mood, something's happened, come from head office. No way are they bending.
Tany's in Dianella. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Tan. Have you asked for a pay rise? What happened?
I haven't. I used ChatGPT to draw up a template for the conversation.
Okay, amazing. Talk us through it. How did it work?
So I put in ChatGPT my job description and all of the different project work I'd done throughout the year and why I felt I deserved a pay rise.
Yeah.
And then I asked it to address all of the different areas that I should talk about in the meeting asked for the pay rise. So it spoke about cost of living, and it spoke about recognising my work and all of the emotional connection to working and why, money, that like the value of doing the work is justified. And then I asked it to ask all the questions that, like, responses, or if they said no, or if they gave me a negative response.
Yes.
And so I covered all the ground so they had justification to say no.
Yeah, you worked them into a corner.
Yeah.
Because you had the answer for everything.
Yeah, so you preemptively had the answer to all of the questions they could possibly think of to ask, because ChatGPT told you what they were going to be.
Yeah, and then ChatGPT phrased how to start the conversation and how to end the conversation. So it touched on, addressing their personal opinion and why, my personal opinion on it. It was great. So now I have this template that I can now use every year because ChatGPT's drawn it up for me.
Amazing. That's using
really
technology to your advantage.
And Tanya, clearly it was a success, right? Transformers.
Yes,
there we go. That was Bumblebee right then.
Got to her. Thanks, Tanya. Ashley's in Midland. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Ash. We're talking about pay rises. What happened?
Yeah. So it's actually my husband that'll do this. So, he works for a small hospitality business. And so whenever we go on holiday, he knows that the owner will struggle a little bit to kind of manage things because he does quite a lot. He's a very efficient worker. So he'll wait to wear, on the back end of a 6-week holiday, and then he'll ask for it. So the boss has just struggled for 6 weeks, and now he's like, you've got to give me more money if you want me to come back.
That's the secret. It's so that they appreciate the value of you. That's the way to do it.
Much.
That is well played.
That is well played.
He's got value in his job. But on the other side, if you thought that was the right idea, and your boss ends up doing your job while you're away and goes, this is easy. This guy's taking...
Don't worry about it. 3 or 4 times. So.
Wow. So basically,
he must be good, though.
Basically, he holds them to ransom when he's been on holidays and said, if you want me to come back, pay me more.
Yeah, he's very efficient.
Clearly he's very good at his job. All right, that's the secret. See, that's the secret, Sean. You have to be good at your job.
Oh, okay, that's where I'm going wrong.
It's screwed. Thanks, Ash.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Tomorrow on the show, David Wenham's going to join us. Classic Australian actor. Just incredible.
Sure.
Been in everything.
Big success.
So good.
Van Helsing. Yep.
Van Helsing. We're also going to cross to Brisbane for a bit of a Cyclone Alfred watch.
We're all on it.
Aren't we just? It's going to be the equivalent of us standing outside in the wind and rain with an umbrella, just seeing what happens.
I was telling Nat earlier on that I was just on YouTube last night because I'm just watching them. The professional surfers are up there. Yeah, because a lot of people go, we've got to leave the area and sandbag their house and we're out of here, right? And then you've got the other people flying in there. Yes. For surfers, for example.
There were surfers literally flying and saying, I flew in yesterday because the surf is absolutely pumping because it's a cyclone, of course. So, the pros are having the best time. You Jack Robinson was going.
Yeah, Jack Robinson's been up there amongst others. Well,
yeah.
I follow him everywhere. As
Yeah,
you know.
don't just.
I've stalked the hell out of him.
I mean, he has put a restraining order on you, but yes.
I'll get around it.
I mean, look at those people sandbagging as we speak. It's like the surfers are just having the best time of their life. Incredible. Plus, Who The AFL is back again. This is your opportunity to, if you can identify who our ex-AFL player is. Today it was Simon Garlick, who we learned a lot about him, like that he played for Sydney as well as the Western Bulldogs.
Yes, he certainly did.
He's now at Fremantle, and he's definitely not Shane Biggs, which
I forgot who that Shane Biggs was.
We all did.
Biggs, but
we all did.
Apparently a lot of people out there knew who that was.
Apparently that was the first result when you Googled who played for Sydney and the Western Bulldogs.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.